starting lineups. First of all, for Georgetown, for the Hoyas. And of course, the man that we mentioned off the top of the telecast, Alonzo Mourning, the 6'10", 240-pound junior, Chesapeake, Virginia, played at Indian River, and he is their go-to guy inside. And of course, the head coach, 19th year at Georgetown, John Thompson, 426 wins. The lineups for the Duke Blue Devils. Laettner, their go-to guy on the inside. And in fact, many times tonight, probably we will see Laettner going up against Alonzo Mourning. Coach is not necessarily wild about that, but they're going to have to do it. Coach K, 11th year at Duke, 236 wins, and of course 3 of the last 4 years Duke has gone to the Final Four.
Impressive. And of course, Michael is not feeling well. He had a touch of pneumonia the last couple of, I guess, 10 days to 2 weeks, and struggling to regain his strength.
We mentioned to him at the shoot-around today that he looks a little gaunt, his face very thin, and Mickey, his wife, was alongside with us, and she said he is lost, as you mentioned, 10 to 15 pounds.
Of course, sat in the bleachers at Cameron to watch practice and said it's a pretty good advantage. He's thinking of doing it a little more.
I started to say, from something like that, wouldn't it be amazing if a trend is set, not only with him, but among other coaches?
Well, these two guys could set some trends, huh? Thompson and Krzyzewski?
For sure. Well, now we'll get it squared away as the officials are about to turn him in the opposite direction. Mourning will jump it up for Georgetown against Laettner. Tip is in the air. Mutombo comes up with the ball for Georgetown, and the Hoyas go on offense first.
Man-to-man.
Almost stolen. Jumper no good. And a foul whistled inside against Georgetown over the top. Check it. McCaffrey charged with the violation.
I thought they gave it to McCaffrey there, jumping over the top. They had a back out.
Harrison, now we're told, has been called with the violation.
Man-to-man. Great help here.
Hurley cross-courts it, trying to get the misdirection. McCaffrey with a jumper in and out. Mourning skies for the rebound.
Two good shots, up empty.
Tell you what, the big fellas inside are really putting bodies on each other.
Laettner likes to mix it up, and you mentioned Mourning, very physical player. He's out on Palmer now. Mutombo really learning the game, though.
McCaffrey misses inside, bodies go flying, and the shot is good by Grant Hill.
Now keep your eye on Hill, folks. He's a very smooth, fluid type of basketball player. Here he comes denying with the wrong hand.
Mourning.
They got to walk before. Nice step in defensively. That's one fear when you play Duke. You've got to anticipate the step in, and this is the one as advertised that a lot of people came to see, particularly the pro scouts. Good help out by Laettner in the step up. They got the walk before.
Crawford Palmer is the man who was standing there defensively. That was touched last by Georgetown.
Oh, we talk about Duke's pressure and the guards of Georgetown having to handle it, and of course it's the other way too. Georgetown can really go after people. Zone on the out of bounds. 1-3-1. Challenge every shot, Georgetown, or you don't play for John.
Hurley for 3.
Palmer got away with one.
Palmer with a little push-off inside, got position and gets the jump hook to go down. 4-0 Duke.
I think anything he gives really makes Mike Krzyzewski feel pretty good about his club. He wanted to go bigger. That's why he put him in the lineup. Thought Hill should be facing the basket. Everybody helps.
Laettner comes down with the air ball. Remember, a junior, senior, and 3 freshmen on the floor for Georgetown.
He likes the threes. He was begging from Hurley for the ball.
Laettner does like the outside shot and hits it very well. McCaffrey unlucky on the bounce, and he's 0 for 3.
Oh, what a kiss! They're going to wipe it out. We've got some speed on the floor right now, Rod. Right here, this is from our vantage point. You feel the contact, you know the whistle's coming. Throw it up, caress the glass.
Hurley had picked up the foul as Mourning puts Georgetown on the scoreboard, and it's 4-2. We're about to hit 17 minutes to play in this opening half.
Laettner was looking for some support, stood up, and let his man dribble around them.
Palmer is going to be called for the foul. First foul on him.
High pick and roll, nice hedge, and now the recovery.
And Palmer's just picked up his second.
Do you think they ran the pick and roll in Zaire quite that well? He is learning the game. Opened up. Once you set that pick, of course, the defense hedges, and now his job, Hurley comes back to play the guard, and right away the reaction by Palmer late, but Mutombo, 2 big steps, and he's at the 10.
You know, Billy, what's interesting about him, he is a senior. He's only played 3 years, and the reason for that is he speaks 5 languages, but the French was his primary, and the SAT is not in French. And because of that, and NCAA rules, he had to sit out his first year. So he was penalized for being fluent.
For being too bright. And he's getting awfully intelligent in his basketball ability as well.
Lang has checked into the ball game.
They throw a lot of wrinkles at you. Here's a little half-court 1-2-1-1. And then back up into their, let's see, man-to-man, straight up. Good shooter.
Lang working inside as Laettner hands the 15-footer. First 2 for Christian on the night, and it's 6-3, Duke.
Well, the bounce opens things up. You draw some defense and give it up.
Good job by Laettner of cutting the lane off there. Nice. Brown strong to the hoop, and he makes it with the left.
What upper body strength you need to hang and deliver that little baby hook. Gotta get somebody in the middle here, Duke. Oh, overrun, nice step in. Nice step in. Hill gave it up, and I'm sure he's run over a few guys in practice to learn. Georgetown sacrifice on defense as well. Not afraid to mix it up.
Grant Hill charged with the violation. 7-6, Georgetown leads. Just over 15 minutes to play in this opening half.
Now Lang in the game, you saw that big rebound earlier. He really gets up, blocks a lot of shots as well. Exciting type player. Oh. He's got offense on his mind. He can fill it up, finding himself as a sophomore.
McCaffrey averaging almost 17 a game. Had missed those first 3. Got to keep putting it up, and he did.
Laettner and Mourning really teeing off on one another. He'll give him that shot.
Hill with the outlet pass to McCaffrey.
Always look up. A little chippy hanging.
John's been pretty open of talking about this youngster with the basketball here. Only a freshman, but he likes him, and a good reason why. That was a nice pass. Laettner will be called for the foul.
Nothing easy for these 2 teams. You're not going to get an easy layup without somebody coming flying at you.
Somebody's going to pay somehow.
And you're right. I'm impressed, as John is, with Brown. He's running the club, getting the ball inside. This Georgetown team has 2 people that can be so damaging down low. The key is to get them cutting and in position, and then the guards delivering the basketball to them. And occasionally, they'll play in the middle of the floor without the big guys.
The thing that coach has been quoted as saying is that Brown has picked up the Thompson offense so quickly. It also shows lots of maturity for only being a freshman.
John has a way of getting him to pay attention quickly.
Wouldn't you? Mutombo knocks that first one down. It's a 2-point ball game. Lang loses the ball, and Mourning inside with the stuff.
That's the hardest stuff. Flat-footed, under the tin, and then sending it in. Lang should have just squeezed that ball. Straight up man, really harassed the ball handler. Everybody helping. Good job. Really fine defense. Cut off the passing lanes, forced it back outside. And you can see how subdued Mike is, really. He doesn't have the energy to really go after his guys. It'll come. He has that week off, I think, for exams, which will be a great help for him.
You forget how something like pneumonia, I said, you forget most people have never had it. But he said he really was drained after the ball game the other night. Not there.
There's the string. Yes!
In the front.
He is after maybe some messages to deliver.
Six points and 3 rebounds for Mourning in the early going of this one. Thomas Hill, number 12 in the game. Laettner misses on the baseline jumper.
Oh, Mutombo's on him. He can go out there and get that shot, though. Dikembe not reacting too well. Not over him. Lang is a presence now with his spring. And, of course, they're so attentive to facing the basketball. Mutombo not really in position to catch that one.
First foul on Mutombo. 12:57 left until halftime. Georgetown 12-10. Mourning gets a breather. One thing John will do is run a lot of people at you.
And Mike in turn doing the same thing. Trying to get everybody a little taste early for later.
Kelly is coming to the ball game, number 40.
He ran, he walked on the out of bounds. You got to stand still.
No basket. Had there been a basket, he could have moved, but he had to be stationary following a turnover.
Ryan Kelly in the ball game. Cincy Tech Jr.
He was president of the student body there, and in fact recruited himself at Georgetown, as I am told. Mutombo, what a move on the baseline! Wow.
So did he.
Bill.
Recruit himself.
Kind of athleticism for a 7-footer.
They can churn it up. Now this sets up that stationary pivot foot out of bounds. They'll face guard, and they'll make you go over the top. You've got a screen. You just can't cut. There's the screen. Now you got to look for the next man posting up. All right, they back it off. Good job that time by Duke. You've got to concentrate continually to handle the pressure.
Kubak's about to check in the ball game. Laettner to come back in. Thomas Hill has it partially blocked inside, and an offensive foul has been called on Palmer, and I'm not sure about that. The kid had no place to come down.
I think what they did is gave the ball to Georgetown instead of the foul. You're right. But that's
a good no call. Palmer did not have a place to come down.
That's the intensity underneath, though. You're not going to get a lob and go up alone.
Kubak comes into the lineup. Greg, a senior, Clifton Park, New York. Look at these points, 12-6 as far as the front court. Moving screen as Hurley got whacked, and it's Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly with the pick. And down low, Mutombo had cleared out Laettner. And Christian wisely just released. Once you know where the guy is, you usually can do some damage.
Kelly's one of those type of guys. At a time, you want 2, 3, 4 minutes from him, and if you're not ignited already, he'll help do it to you. He's one of those kind of people.
Turn it up a little bit. Straight up man again. Tough pass from the point. Good 3-quarter. Mourning. Over the top. Tag with it.
In 11:53 left in the first half. Georgetown 14 and Duke 10.
Georgetown entices the pass to either corner, runs the trap, and then really zones up beautifully.
7-0 run. That's in the last 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Brian Davis with the turnover a moment ago. Junior from Capitol Heights, Maryland. Just had come into the lineup. That's a three-pointer. That's going to be basket interference.
I don't know if they go for Kelly again. Okay, Alonzo very unselfish, giving it back down and then resetting. I like to see him turn when there isn't traffic and take his man.
Kelly picks up his second foul. Mutombo back in and Kelly to the bench.
There's the pressure again. If you don't screen and cut, of course, make them pay occasionally. Oh, double dribble. Kubek in a hurry to give it back to Hurley.
Grabbed it with the second hand. Then went back down to the floor. Kubek's the one who did such a great job in the semifinal game last year of the NCAAs of catching Oliver Miller unaware, and a couple of quick fouls, and Ollie went to the bench, and that was a great difference in that ball game.
That's why these games are helpful. You eliminate some of those mistakes. Wow.
Oh. Mourning falling away from 18 feet. Good heaven.
You say if you make that, pal, you deserve it.
You know, if he's 6'4", it's one thing, but he's 6'10". Thomas Hill, the left-hander, misses on the three-point attempt.
Good pass. Mourning, they got to give it to, I think, the Duke player tipped it in.
18-10, and the Blue Devils got to get something to happen quickly, and it's a 10-point game. 13-0 run is Harrison on the garbage points there, and it's 20-10 Georgetown.
Duke not doing a good job of posting after the ball is inbounded.
Thomas Hill misses with another three-point attempt.
You notice everybody, when they have an open shot, there's a Georgetown player comes flying by. Kubek with Mutombo, a mismatch of size anyhow. He walked, I thought. Yeah, Kubek's probably shoved him. Dikembe's game is extremely simple, and I think part of it is attributable to John's experience as a center, both in college and in the NBA level, and his lack of playing experience, where you don't get in a lot of bad habits. You're able to just do certain things well, and he has surprised and will continue to.
Co-defensive player of the year in the Big East just last year. School record 12 blocks. That was against St. John's, where he had 12, and that ball was kicked, so the clock will get a new 45. Just under 10 to play until halftime, and Georgetown all of a sudden has exploded. They're up by 10.
Grant didn't really squeeze that one. Gave him another chance.
Robert Churchwell.
One of those bursts right now. Over the years, they can put you away in quick cadence.
Duke hasn't scored in the last 5 minutes. It was about 14.5 minutes on the clock, and a 15-0 run as that ball is turned over. And now Mike wants a timeout. Coach Krzyzewski calling him to the sideline. Georgetown by 12.
Well, talk about pressure. You've got to set your man up, get free. Then once you catch the basketball, you've got to turn, look up the floor right here. With Bob Hurley, generally you've got a situation, if they go back to man-to-man, he can bring it up and get set, but it's continuing. The eventual play here is when he penetrated and had that turnover, so you just don't beat it and relax. They keep coming.
Harrison working against Hurley. Nice spin move. And Laettner battles Mutombo inside to come back away with it. Still on the floor, Grant Hill.
Nothing easy. Nothing easy. That may have been on the way up, but that's a joy to watch when guys keep reacting. Help your teammate. Go over and try to block. And, of course, with them, it's a message, too. Don't bring it in here.
That stops a 15-0 run. By the way, Bill, here's a great number. Georgetown has gotten 5 offensive boards in this first half, and they have scored on every occasion. Wow.
Strong to the goal. Nice look here. looking for the body contact, didn't get it.
Mutombo with the intimidation that time of Laettner.
Poise necessary by Duke now, both defensively and offensively. Can't give up the easy goals on gambles. Stay at home.
Foul will go against Churchwell.
That's their kind of game, though. Get everybody down on the floor, keep digging and scratching, wreak havoc, cause some decisions with the basketball. And Duke, part of this month, I think, is getting you geared for March. Most of these clubs, anyhow.
Harrison and Thompson go out. Joey Brown will check back in. Also, Lamont Morgan, a freshman out of here in Washington, comes in. Normally at the two-guard spot. Yeah, that's where he'll be with Joey Brown already on the floor. Palmer misses, and that was the first Duke free throw of the night. 10-point game.
Tells you where the game's been played, out in the middle of the floor as Hurley reaches around. Now Bobby right now has to gather his team, and they're going to try and take the ball out of his hands too, but defensively he's trying to come up with the play. You don't want to do that for number 3 or eventually number 4, but he's trying to make something happen. But he's got to use good judgment once they get it inbounds. Recognize what kind of pressure is it, man, is it zone, should I pass it, should I dribble it.
Brian Kelly back in, and Mourning goes to the bench. Hill down to the rebound. Of course, his father is Calvin Hill, former great running back for the Dallas Cowboys, and he's in attendance tonight. McCaffrey pushed off with the elbow.
Great step in by Kelly. I talk about being alert. Now, this is a big guy able to move his feet, and if he hadn't extended the arm, he may have gotten the foul call, McCaffrey. One of the refs had a little problem with their whistle. That's why I'm out of the game. Most of them had the problem against me when I was out there.
There are a lot of coaches that wish they all had problems with whistles. Kelly on the break, and Grant Hill on the block. He'll be called for the foul. You know, somebody told me before the ball game tonight, don't be surprised before it's all said and done if Grant Hill is not back at guard and maybe even running as point guard for this Duke basketball team. You agree with that?
Well, Mike said he could play point. I don't think he will with this team, but he can play the off guard and of course the small forward. But you did notice, just like on our open, the pressure, Duke finally had the full court pressure, but you got to score to set it up, to get some turnovers and sort of counterpunch this Georgetown team. You can't lay back. They'll pound you into submission.
Mentioned Georgia, the fact that Duke has only been to the free throw line one time and he missed that one. And I'll tell you, Georgetown is having their problems. They're only 2 of 7.
Look at that push off. Good play. Learning quickly. Mutombo able to give the little nudge to extricate himself. Let's see how they handle this now, Ron. They've had their problems when they're face guarded. Everybody down this end makes it easier to trap if they now straight up man.
McCaffrey can't get it to go. Davis in and out of his hands.
Good check out by Kelly. Set it up.
Morgan for 3.
Well, look at the balance. All the blue shirts.
Laettner, 3-point attempt. Duke has scored only 2 points in the last 7 minutes. And they're down by 10. We're about to hit the 7-minute mark.
And Mourning out getting a nice rest. Mutombo doing a great job.
Brown with the spin move, not there. Has his own foul. Unlucky again, and Davis will come down with it for the Blue Devils.
Nice run here. Scored a goal. Good look by Hurley. But Laettner getting him up and down. That's one of the few times so far that Georgetown didn't recognize the sprint and balance the floor. The big guy's caught unattentive, and Laettner just keeps plodding along at a pretty good speed, I might add.
Well, for Duke, this is kind of like getting caught in a pit stop, and it's in green rather than caution because Mourning is back in and Palmer has come out replacing Laettner. So
no help back here, Ron. Look at this. Nice recognition by Brown. Not bad for a freshman, huh? Emptied everybody out. The Duke pressure hugging the immediate pass recipient. And when you've got a guard, you said he picked up John's system. Turn, seal, hold. Don't shove, and make sure that pass goes towards the tin. A little late for any recovery. Great heads-up play.
Mourning has hit his first 5 shots. Probably the most impressive thing about him last year, 220 points from the free throw line, which was 78%. And one of the things the coaches wanted to work with him on was he gripped the ball so tightly inside. He was not necessarily getting up a good follow or return, but he was hitting the free throws.
He tried to force everything in.
Yeah. Davis, nice move along the baseline.
Another fine look. Hurley, a little more composure now, getting the feel of the flow. See if they go back to big. I'd keep working Mourning if I could. There's a front and a back. Nice inside pass. Palmer with the little nudge.
All coming up this Sunday here on ESPN, the Total Sports Network. Ron Franklin and Bill Raftery in our second game here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. First game overtime. St. John's by 1 over Georgia Tech.
Great Tech comeback too. I mean, they didn't look like they had a shot. Of course, making free throws, you always want to make them, but when you press, as Georgetown does, gives them an opportunity to get organized, get people in the right spots.
Got a great ball game going with 14 points and 4 boards.
Not a bad 14 minutes. Face guard. Yeah, straight up man.
Mourning has 15 points now, and Duke has only scored 16 in the first half. Davis gets hammered inside, and it looks like
Churchwell from the rear there. Oh, you don't want to go in there. I think it's awful hard to shoot, but particularly if you look at this camera, you can't see the basket with all those bodies. That's housing somebody, as the kids would call it. He would be needled for that release. What Duke's doing a little bit better, Ron, is they're coming over half court and taking it towards the goal, and if there's a pinch, finding somebody. And that at least has gotten them back in with their head. They were a little flustered earlier.
knocks that one down as well. Another thing that is said about Brian Davis, and to watch for him as far as he could be the best defensive player that Duke has.
Laettner in the lane, got the deflection.
Hurley, the Laettner, the jump hook, not quite. Mutombo comes down with the long carom. 5:40 left in the ball game, and that alley-oop is not going to work as Mourning was underneath the hoop trying to receive it.
Pretty. Over the top, huh? Back to that three-point line because you're not going to get a shot off. They just attack you in such an aggressive fashion.
Duke is already in the penalty, Bill, which means 10 fouls or more for the half. So to the line goes Churchwell for a couple. We still have 5:31 left until halftime.
Tough early season games, I think, tend to make you improve quickly. Coaches can teach at the highest level.
We asked Mike this morning at the shoot-around if he liked this kind of competition early, and he said, yeah. You know, we got to find out. We got to have a report card for ourselves, so to speak. McCaffrey comes away with the ball after the Duke steal.
Good double up in pinch. 2-3.
Thomas Hill, he's got a lid on it now.
Dikembe, huh? Turnovers are some quick shots, or Dikembe in that case giving him the freebies at the far end.
Thomas Hill, sophomore from Lancaster, Texas. Laettner, great work inside, and the tip back out goes to Brown.
They do it great. Joey, got to pull up, bring it back out. And you don't have to be standing still. You can be moving backwards in the lane.
Mike Krzyzewski was very quick to say that he loves this ball club. He said, I know we're young. You know, the funny thing, he says, that, you know, they've been to the Final Four 3 of the last 4 years. He said, but we're not allowed to be young at Duke.
No, everyone wants him in the top 5 and expects it. Laettner going strong. And of course, the follow-up, the walk by Lang. They're really going quickly, although Duke does have an aggressive nature. Might not be bad to pull it out just a little and run some. You know, get some guys in some position for the open jumpers. But they are really going toe-to-toe like punchers.
They're dancing with the one who's leading, and the one who's leading is Georgetown, and this is their tempo.
Well, Duke loves that high tempo too, and it starts and is stimulated at this end.
Mourning with a moving screen.
Good job. Pulls those elbows out. Was up big and strong. Great offensive rebound by Laettner earlier.
Ronnie Thompson with the foul, and now the penalty situation for Georgetown. So Laettner will go to the line for a couple. 10 points. It seems like it's been that for at least 8 to 9 minutes. Laettner can cut into it, bring it out of double figures.
There's a lot of respect between Mourning and Laettner. They've teed it up in the summer, and I just think both of them have bright futures, particularly the aggressive nature of both.
McCaffrey with a good job from coming outside to get that carry.
Straight man. Laettner's got Kelly, might be the go-to guy. Force, and yes.
And he turned around to the official after he hit it and said foul. I'm not so sure I don't agree with it. Mourning. Thomas Hill brings up and down, and Duke can cut it back to 5 on this trip. Hurley tried to feed it through Mourning, and a great defensive job.
So big you can't get it around and find a passing lane.
Duke tried to set the trap. Hurley gets the steal. Oh, my.
NBA giveaway. Mike Krzyzewski looking for an intentional foul.
Mike's saying he didn't go for the basketball. See if he did or not.
Nice little play from behind. Part of defense is deflecting. And Hurley now bracing. He got some ball, but he did get a lot of body. I mean, that's, you tell your players to make sure that they don't get a deuce and one.
Anton Studemeyer comes into the ball game. Mourning, Brown, Churchwell, and number 30, Ronnie Thompson. The 5 of the 4 for the Hoyas right now. As Hurley in and out.
I think what Mike likes most about his club is their toughness. And they were tested here early. Georgetown with a great assault defensively. And trying to force the issue. Now Duke's got themselves back in, knocking at the door.
3:24 left until halftime. We have a 6-point ball game. Georgetown on top. We'll be right back.
Job of recognizing defenses. Here's a situation where Bobby Hurley here says, you know what? I can read the eyes of the passer here. I'm going to get a steal here on Joey Brown. But Brown does the right thing, comes to it, and then he does a positive thing, drives to the basket, and you beat a defender. If you get by a defender, where is he? He's behind you. Hurley, the junior, picks the pocket of Charlie Harrison, the 6'2 freshman from D.C., comes down and gets the foul. So
early on, they made some mistakes, didn't really pry and grope, turned it over in bad position where they could easily give up a deuce to Georgetown. I mean, slap-aways, this is the hustle, but with changes in the lineup and with the composure, a timeout, the legs of Duke are back, and they're able to coordinate their offense, beat the pressure, and it's because Hurley has been handling the ball most of the time. And when they get into their half-court set, they've run some intricate things. They've emptied the back. All of a sudden, the fill low, McCaffrey clears out the lob, the rest simple, but that's because now their heads are in the game. They're not perplexed.
The guy that we previewed for Georgia Tech at halftime, Kenny Anderson, was 2 of 9. At halftime, Laettner, who we promoted in this one, was 2 of 9 at halftime.
Maybe Laettner will be a factor, as Mutombo does. The completion of pretty good handling of the defense.
Whistle and the foul out on the floor before the shot as Hurley made the drive up that left side.
Anderson, quite a factor down the stretch of that game, but the reason Laettner isn't a factor is the great inside defense, the support, the reaction. They're taking away that end of the game, and Duke's finding other ways now, either with the dribble or with the jumper. Ooh.
3 fouls on Harrison. As you can see, the alley-oop did not work inside, but Duke still with the basketball. Nice. Good look by Hurley, and Lang has it rejected.
Well, I guess return to sender. You're not getting much in there.
McCaffrey with a really solid game.
Look at this reaction to the ball. Just those. Step the numbers.
2-on-1.
Pretty.
Robert Churchwell, the freshman from Silver Spring, Maryland.
I thought that would rev Georgetown's defense up, that they really come out aggressively after that completion.
Laettner, great move.
Major league.
Yep.
Use that bounce, warded off the defender, turn the shoulders.
He also is trying to send a message, I think, of I'm not in awe or intimidated by anything that has happened so far.
It's only 2, you know, it's only all the flair. If it's a dunk, it's 2. Of course, at the other end, you might get to the foul line at a key point if you get that angle on those big guys.
Mourning will get a break. Mutombo will stay on the floor. Kelly is there. Also, Ronnie Thompson checks back in. And we got number 12, Harrison, who just picked up his 3rd a moment ago.
Now here's the 1-3-1, Ron. And we mentioned you might get an alley-oop, but chances of that with the big guy in the middle there are tough. But you might get Kelly playing somebody a little bit bigger.
Hill misses. Lang tries in the follow, and then Mutombo comes up with the rebound.
Now look at him run the floor. Right under the 10 in case there was a miss. Not a good shot for Christian. Trying to make some things happen.
First time tonight we've seen Mike get really excited, but he's all the way down to the baseline.
He didn't like the out-of-bounds call. I don't think it was a foul situation.
13:33 left of the ball game. Georgetown by 7.
The high school coaches should look at a Georgetown film and then not worry so much about their offensive sets, because they'll just disrupt and take you out of them. You got to be able to react.
Thompson blocked by McCaffrey.
Great job. Didn't let him go baseline that time. Made a mistake earlier. Up big. And I don't think Mike Krzyzewski recruited Bill McCaffrey to block shots, but that was a pretty good play. Michael at Army used to tease him. Mike Krzyzewski at Army made a few dollars. It's now Krzyzewski.
Mutombo will get a rest. It's going to be Kelly, Churchwell, Morgan. Mourning is back in the ball game. And it looks like Ronnie Thompson. Mutombo goes to the bench, 10 points, has 9 boards.
Nice post pass. He may have walked, but a good look. Killed his dribble quickly and got himself in position, but you know that these two have competed against one another, and maybe that grab caused the problem. And he may have kept that pivot foot too.
I think he did.
He moved the front foot a couple of times.
You know, I think he's proven the point that actually maybe he's a better player facing the hoop, but on the other hand, I still think in his heart he still believes he's a center.
Well, from what I'm told too, John feels he's a center. I think he's got to get some more moves. They got some things. They got some debris on the floor. I think for example, when he can drop step, he looks good. When he gets to turn it, the setup is pressed down underneath.
Mourning call them together to give him the defensive call.
They've gotten away from the trapping D. You notice that? They're letting the dribbler beat them.
Boy, of all the guys to leave open, he's the one with the hot hand, and McCaffrey knocks it down for his 18th point.
Well, they're going to have to beat him outside, but it may have to come from a pass back out.
That's Duke's first three-pointer of the night.
One of the few mistakes you'll see him make in traffic.
Hurley up to Thomas Hill. Pumps and steps are called.
Got to pass the ball back. Bobby Hurley waiting. Thomas, you know, when you're inside like that, judgment should prevail, particularly when you may taste it.
Turnovers now 15 each. Yeah, but they had double down there, and you're right. Hurley was there and would have been open.
Reignite. When he brought it down, it became a one-shot foul. I'm impressed with Georgetown's ability when there is a double up or there is a breakdown. They've been getting the ball inside much better than in recent memory. Because they've had so many talented kids they can run by their big guys and not utilize them.
Well, Bill, the thing probably is most impressive tonight. Let's face it, they got a great nucleus with Mourning and Mutombo inside, but 6 of the 7 freshmen that they brought in are playing.
Look at this.
Mutombo gets whacked hard by Hill inside.
Now that's something that he'll have to learn. That's very un-American. He assisted the official, much more adept at handling this kind of atmosphere. I don't think he'll ever be the offensive player Akeem Olajuwon is, and was at Houston undergrad, but
he still reminds me of Akeem in a lot of ways as far as the early days of Akeem Olajuwon.
That's unusual. 4 blue shirts underneath.
6-point game. Laettner gets the steal.
Nice. McCaffrey fanned out, opened the lane. Hurley responds.
Every time Georgetown thinks they're going to put together a run, Duke will not go away.
Unabashed.
Harrison. Wow. Only a freshman also. It's out of Washington, Archbishop Carroll. Nice shooter.
Now Laettner all the way down was eyed by Hurley. Now look at this. Smart. Now he's got the angle. Sort of a crooked arm release by Christian.
10 rebounds now for Mutombo as he pulled that one down. 51-45. We're about to go to 10 minutes left in this ball game.
Go to the 10. And he picked that up quickly. He learned that as fast as he found out where the fast food places were. Go to the 10. And we may have 3 NBA centers on the floor. I'm sure we do. Christian Laettner a little bit tired and winded from competing against 2 potential NBA centers, Mutombo and Mourning. Look at the support.
Grant Hill blocked as he drove it along the baseline.
They got the push on Alonzo.
Second foul on Mourning. You can see Mike looks a little bit gaunt in the face there after his bout with pneumonia, and he's lost close to 15.
This game would do it to you without being sick. Mike Bray alongside him there, trying to support.
10-17 left to play. Georgetown by 8. Louis Carnesecca's St. John's Redmond by 1 point, and in this one we have an 8-point contest. Georgetown, the number 6 team in the nation, leading over Duke, who's number 5, and we have just over 10 to play in the ball game.
Georgetown after the timeout trying to get into their press again. Straight up man. And earlier, remember they did that little trap. It got Duke out of their rhythm.
Ron Frankel along with Bill Raftery. I hope you're enjoying this doubleheader tonight. Evening number 3 of the ACC-Big East Challenge. And there's still one more night of it to come tomorrow evening. Dick Vitale and Tim Brando will bring that to you.
Tough shot. Boy, is he confident anymore. Yeah, that's a good shot when you're getting your shots blocked or changed or hurried. Mutombo waving the ball. Isn't that interesting how fast people get it off the floor? You become 5'10". Yeah, he's got it. John saying pass it.
That's right. He said Dikembe, he's off and running, no pun intended. They are fun to watch.
Is that a 3? That could be a 3-shot foul. Let's see if it was over the line. On the 3-point attempt. No, it was on the line.
So he'll go to the line for a couple. Foul situation. Georgetown is 1 away from the 1-1. And Duke is a couple away.
Can't play too long without Christian. He needed a blow, Mike, after timeout, a few minutes extra. Need those fresh legs against the strength of Mourning and, of course, the agility of Mutombo. Look at how much Brown means defensively, too, Ron. And he's been out of there quite a while, saving with the 4. He stirs it up.
Harrison's done a very good job. He's got 9 points. Thomas Hill, boy, and I'll tell you, that shot just has not gone for him all night. Great look away, and he'll have a chance for 3.
Harrison. Laettner gamble on the defensive end and trailed the play, so it's 5 against 4. Davis coming in late as well, so 5 against 3, and John's early substituting showing some signs right now, particularly on that play.
You know, and I go back to the point I made in the first half on this gentleman. Out of Cincinnati Tech, Ryan Kelly, what he does is very infectious. He just wants to play. Doesn't necessarily have to have the basketball. He just wants to be out there to contribute.
He doesn't have to read the paper about himself.
Biggest lead of the night, 13 points. 58-45 by Georgetown.
Churchwell with the foul, but good to see Grant Hill being more offensive-minded.
Churchwell now with 4. You can see that casual glance down at the bench.
You know, at the 5-star camp a couple of years ago, I was fortunate to present Grant Hill with the MVP trophy and speak at a dinner with his dad and get to chat about him. What a great player and person.
Great player for the Dallas Cowboys and also from Yale.
I bet that's a little harder to do. Watch your son play in Ruth and get hit by some of those behemoths in the NFL.
Been a tough night for Grant. 3 points, 8 rebounds.
Got Laettner with the hold, yeah. He is really involved. I guess epitomizes Mike's work ethic. I'd say he had more than enough. Shoulder, neck, and that let me look, but he is a competitor. What you like about him, I mean, he really chastises his teammates in a nice way, keeps their spirits up, and here he's articulating with Mickey Crowley the injustice he's just received.
Interesting thing about Laettner, he's second on the team in 3-pointers. And the fact that 37 points he had just last week was the most points scored by a Duke player since Ferry.
And they've had a few. There's some uniforms retired. Johnny Dawkins, Mike Jaminski, Art Heyman, and you mentioned Ferry. And someday Jim Spinarco, who led them to that Final Four, will be in there. He deserves it. Will they retire that shirt?
Hurley for 3. Mourning has been whistled for the foul. That'll be 3 on him.
You have to like it, though. He was fighting to get over the top, so Laettner couldn't receive that post pass and cause some damage.
You know, this is the home gym, or floor, I should say, of Georgetown. Georgetown was very glad to be playing the second game tonight because normally they have a boys club come in and play before them, and the reason for that is because the floor is on ice, and they say it loosens up the board and you get a more even dribble. So they were glad they were playing game 2 this evening.
They think of everything.
Yeah. Mourning.
Got him. Laettner came a little too deep, really positioned well.
Davis.
Well, that's that giveaway. I like the play.
Take another look.
Good look, and of course, you do not want the easy layup, and a little frustration too. As Kelly and, of course, the officials with tough jobs making sure there's full control.
I think what Davis got upset about is he had one hand on the ball and one hand on his head and blocked both.
I can't blame a guy for being upset, but that is part of not giving up a layup. Mike's getting a tee. Well, even though he's not feeling well, Don't forget, a second one, you're gone. And usually with the first one, you sometimes feel you don't deserve it. Mike Bray and Pete Gaudet coming up. Because Pete's been with him for a long time and trying to get him to relax a little. So I don't know why officials stand there after they call the two. I'd be on the other side chatting with us. It's almost like looking for the second one.
So Mourning now to shoot the 2 on the technical.
Brian Davis upset. Mike, of course, trying to stir his guys up too. Right now it's in danger of sneaking away.
Points and 9 rebounds for Mourning.
Goes to bench T. Gives him the easy 2.
Let's go look.
Thompson's three-pointer won't go, and here comes Hurley. Bobby all the way.
Showing some speed there. But Georgetown really has spread the floor nicely on offense. There's plenty of area to make the post pass and ended up with a corner jumper.
That's Hurley's first field goal of the night.
Maybe Davis there. Brian riding his guy. This has postseason feelings, doesn't it? The competition level.
Mourning will go out and Mutombo will come back in. You know, there have been some great ones already. Arkansas and Arizona squaring off early. Arkansas and Duke.
Indiana and Syracuse.
Yes.
And Arkansas and Arizona. Right? Little bump here. Because that preseason NIT ended up with some 4 heavyweights in the finals.
The thing is, a lot of clubs finding out very early, and particularly some folks who were, as you mentioned, some teams that are supposed to be like not necessarily reloading, but you know, it's a rebuilding year, and they're not rebuilding; they have reloaded.
Well, one constant that these two clubs have is defense. I mean, you know each night what you're bringing to the arena. And it's how they cope against one another, particularly tonight. And early on, the inside defense from Georgetown, complemented by the early pressure, set up this game, I think.
64-51 with 7:26 left in the ball game. Hurley gets them both, so we'll take a break. Georgetown leading by 12.
Of course, Grant Hill didn't play as well as they're used to, but this interior defense of Georgetown, Ron, is just devastating. Look at those numbers. Not as many blocks as I've seen him have, but just how many hurries and how many intimidations. And they did it all here of late with Joey Brown resting.
Steal by Davis. Showtime. Before that shot, Duke was shooting only 35% for the ball game. Attributable to just what Bill was talking about, the defense of Georgetown. Joey Brown back in the game after having been sitting for a bit with his 4th foul early. Gets it, and that ends a 6-0 Duke run since that technical foul. Laettner lost the handle on that one.
About to make a nice move, just didn't get the right release. They've begun sliding that pick and roll, and Joey Brown. Didn't matter, right? Hurley got right back on him. Switching to D now. Little 2-3.
Christian Laettner with the jump up.
Oh, and Mutombo with a cramp.
Laettner with 13 points. 5 of 18 on the evening. As you look at Mutombo, Lori Michaels, the trainer for Georgetown, is out to check him out.
Yeah, I think it's a cramp. You see the way she's working the leg. But you got to move the toes when you get those cramps. I know you wouldn't have that problem. You're in such good shape. Right here, this is a much better looking hook. Well, he just came down a little bit funny. How maybe stiff-legged. Oh, he just fell again.
Yeah, that's a cramp. He just fell down again.
Oh, that's amazing. I've never seen that.
Well, when a cramp grabs you like that, that's...
We got up, and Lori Michael had walked away.
Yeah. Numbers on him tonight. He's got 14 points, 13 boards, and 2 blocks. Attack. And in the second game, Georgetown has this one in.
And they're really careful with it. That may be a little more serious than we first thought. And Lori as well, because when she walked away, I'm sure she felt he was fine, but he's not taking any chances now. He just moved the leg up pretty good.
Putting ice on that leg, and we're hoping that it is only a cramp.
Yeah, certainly do. He's really a pleasure to watch.
Georgetown led only 49-45 with 11:40 to go in the ball game, and since then they have gone on a 13-1 run and widened the margin out to 16 points. Right now it's a 12 with 5:52 remaining.
They really didn't need that at that point. Looking for the home run. Of course, Duke fronted everybody, played the inbound passer, and that's the gamble. If it works, you look pretty good. He's staying on the court,
I started to say this is even better news. Maybe it is just a cramp. They just had to have some way of getting him off the floor. It's 7-2.
For fear, right, that he might fall again. Little zone to make Duke take the deep shot, use some clock as well.
Joey Brown. Inside to Mourning, working against Laettner. Nice look along the baseline, and Laettner comes off Mourning and makes the block.
Churchwell's very active, isn't he? That's a charge. Brown with number 5.
It's going to be 5 on him. So he got the 4th early. He's set, and he's been back in the ball game for about 2.5 minutes.
And those 4 points belie his contributions. Solid effort, particularly in the pressing end and getting the team into that fast-paced style.
Charlie Harrison, the freshman from Washington, will come in replacing Joey Brown. Joey, a freshman from Morgan City, Louisiana.
Grant forcing it. He really isn't stroking it. Oh, that's more like it, though. Nice rebound over Kelly, huh? Davis.
Ryan Davis.
Deterrent. They're going to score the goal, too, but look at that defensive set. I mean, you've got everything you'd want, huh? Take the dribble away. Force the pass back out. Now, Ron, this is awfully tough. Now, look, you think you have a shot. There's Mourning. Well, let me get it back out. And, of course, Dave is strong, and that was over the tin, I guess, but that was still on the way up. That was impressive.
Basket good, and he'll go to the line.
Duke's got to stimulate something from the D. Little takedown by Kelly and Laettner. A little get acquainted poke.
Nine-point ball game with 4:25 left.
And Mutombo's up, by the way, Ron. Good help by Laettner. Well, there's a perfect double of backcourt. Anytime you dribble exchange like that, you're bringing your man as well as the other defensive man together for a perfect trap. Caused the turnover at 9.
John's not going to be happy about that total. That's 20 turnovers against Georgetown.
This team keeps plugging.
Davis gets the foul, and that's going to be a foul on the floor against Thompson. Ronnie Thompson will pick up his second.
Laettner not shooting the ball as well as he's capable of, but good weak side rebounding bailed them out on this play. But they're just hanging around in Georgetown, not closing it on them.
Who hung around in the first game? We had overtime.
Is that true? Georgia. Second, look who's coming back. And boy, that's great to see. Dikembe.
Well, he was walking like he wanted to go onto the scorer's table, and John looked back at him as if to say, I'm still coaching this thing.
Where are you going there, son? This is where Brown is important.
7-0 run by Duke, and it is a 7-point game with about 4 minutes left in this contest.
And Charles Harrison has to take over a little bit.
Mourning inside to Kelly, and he gets blocked big time. So there's a break in the action. 3:51 left to play, and the folks from Duke are aroused.
Well, Ron, you've got a big guy making a heck of a bounce pass, and you get the reaction defensively. Both clubs terrific at helping one another. And Grant Hill, the only thing he did wrong was didn't keep it in play, but he enjoyed that after some frustrating moments this evening.
You know, Davis has helped pace this Duke comeback. He's got 7 of the last 9 points. 68-61, 7-point Georgetown lead.
Nice
Mourning, nice look. He's got it, and a chance for a 3-point play.
He has made 2 beautiful passes in a row. They empty out that backside initially in case you want to front the big guy, and if you can get it in, then they fill. Here's the fill coming, and just look at this. The recognition, and Bobby Hurley getting spun around because just like they've been taught, they're going to help one another.
Any number of 3 people, but it's going to be called against Anton Stoudemire.
I think the only guy that didn't foul was Mourning. He got the ball.
You know, Stoudemire's an interesting situation for John Thompson. He was ill early, missed so much practice, really did not become a part of their rotation. And you think he's going to be awfully good. He's out of Portland, Oregon, played at Jesuit High School there.
All you read about him was he would be a help this year. And surprisingly, he didn't get the early minutes. Hurley showed some great speed, didn't he, Tony? We talked about Anderson in the first game.
Yeah.
Bobby can scoot, get him up and down with the bounce.
You know, besides that, he is not afraid to take it into the trees either.
This team, it's awful tough to get away with it, though. care if he's helping him. Should be a 5-second. Fran shouldn't have picked the basketball up, or Billy, excuse me, because they had started the count. He was trying to help the opponent. Got to cut and help the guy passing the ball inbounds.
Kelly comes back in. Stoudemire will go to the bench. 3:35 left in the ball game. Laettner has it stripped, gets it right back. Grant Hill was there and just missed the shot, and Davis going to be called for the violation. That's 4 on him.
Mike is probably one that I've never seen my club get that many shots that close and come up empty, but there's always a big body and, of course, a reacting person off the ball. It's just extraordinary.
It's one of the few things that he has not done properly this evening. Alonzo Mourning, the junior from Chesapeake, Virginia, played at Indian River. 6'10", 240 pounds, and he moves with the grace of a 6'6" player.
This is one of the better games I've seen him play. I've seen him play in some awfully good ones.
The maturity factor continues to grow large, doesn't it?
Well, and also with the kids around, he knows he has to play a little better because of the young people that you've alluded to. Underneath, off and up.
Yep.
Oh. We mentioned earlier, Churchwell active. That time he saw Mourning beat, got his 3rd foul. Offered it up. Ooh. Go for the home run again.
Harrison. And he blew it, but the foul is right there. Lamont Morgan gets the pair. And it's 73-62. We're under 3 minutes to play in this one.
That should be good.
Laettner. Follow, still no good.
Does that typify Duke's? Look at this, didn't work though. He never packs it in. I mean, there's some big hearts on this floor. To Major League aggressive people.
Stoudemire's call for the foul. Mike Krzyzewski is up, and I have a feeling what he said was it should have been good in the goaltending way back there, right there.
But it's awfully tough when you, every time you go in, you see the sultans of SWAT, but the competitors involved in this game. I mean, it's just beautiful. 2 well-drilled, talented clubs that are going to be around a long time.
Christian with his 14th point of the night. He's not going to be very happy with what happened on the floor tonight, though. 5 of 22 in field goals.
Nice double up.
Stoudemire tried to throw it right through McCaffrey.
Should have been on the floor.
Nice no-look by Hurley, and the block by Mourning. Good heavens.
You know what's terrific, though, Ron? There's a play, it's blocked, and then there's people reacting to go make another great play. It's just like one continuing change of events. Well, this is strength on strength. Great timing and all basketball. That is gorgeous.
And you're right, you see the reaction. He's going right back to try to make another one.
And they are into it.
Mourning has 4 blocks as Davis knocks down the first one. 2:29 to play. Georgetown by 9.
John's really taking care of Dikembe, too, not taking any chances there.
That's the first miss by Davis tonight. 8 of 9.
Everybody wants a backcourt, but it's fine. You can straddle. John Thompson had to get it out. Where's confidence?
Stoudemire saying, hey, I just picked up the foul. I've got a turnover. I need to do something to impress the big guy behind me there. As Hurley goes the distance, count it, and the foul.
Okay, Bobby doesn't back off, does he? He's not afraid to mix, stick the chin in. Had the choice here. But look, Intich, you mentioned before, these guys going back, they don't, undeterred, they don't, Mike said this afternoon, we don't care if they dunk or block shots, we just keep going after them.
Bobby's only 6 feet, 160 pounds.
Number 5 for
Churchwell.
A pretty good prospect, huh, Robert?
So he's gone. He has 11 points on the ball game. We'll bring you all the action.
Brother dined at Seton Hall, an early signing. So PJ will have some leadership out there.
Turnover against Georgetown. I mentioned a moment ago that they had 20. They're winning the game handily, but the turnovers John will not be pleased with. Kelly comes down with the board there, trying to help stop the bleeding. 23 turnovers against Georgetown.
You got to make good gambles, trap when you can, and try and play the passing lanes. Because Georgetown trying to play a little keep away, run it down. There's a perfect trap, and it worked. Don't exchange. Don't come behind your teammate.
Harrison got pushed out of bounds for the 24th turnover. Georgetown by 8.
Trying to get McCaffrey into the flow.
McCaffrey now with 20 points.
And Mike holding the timeouts. Feels there's plenty of time left. Look at this, the press work. They really got set quickly. John Thompson needs the time.
1:01 left in the ball game, and Duke trying to do what Georgia Tech did in the first game, send it to overtime. 1:01 left to play. Georgetown by 6, and Duke has the basketball. What are the other situations that are left? Timeouts. Georgetown with 1, Duke with 2. Fouls to give. Neither club can give any because they're in the penalty. And possession error goes with Duke. And Mutombo is back in the ball game. 14 points. They have put him back in.
Obviously, when he got up, they felt comfortable with him, or they wouldn't put him back in. See what Georgetown, they're going man to man. I think they might pull a little wrinkle and switch it up.
Turnovers this half. Georgetown 15 and Duke 3.
Mutombo really becomes a presence at this point. Any penetration. That's what and I love that end of it. Get it in and kick it back. It negates that inside defense.
It is a 3-point ball game with 49.9 seconds left. And the first one tonight,
What did you
Georgia Tech
expect?
came from off the track and sent it into overtime at 60 apiece. And Bill, we're heading to the same thing right here.
Mike Riley, I think John wishes you could put him in. Pretty good player for him in the old days. Joey Brown out. That's a problem for him. They haven't really had that control. The best passer was Mourning, and there's a guy that has his jam inside out.
Well, Sports Center is coming up
On the shot clock when they get it. 49 left in the game. John's going to have to run something effectively. They haven't shown they can hold the ball. I'm sure he's plotting on don't bring your man into a perfect trap situation. We've lost the ball twice. John, you can tell the age of the coach. When they use the floor like that, that's my vintage. You know, they didn't have all these fancy magnetic boards when we began. And of course, this pressure has started to give some problems to Georgetown.
Duke has made up 8 points in the last minute and 15 seconds. An 8-0 run.
Run the trap.
Laettner will get the foul. 4 on him.
Don't get the first one, give it was the advice there.
Mike Krzyzewski, always coaching, always giving instruction.
Oregon only 50%. They only had a few this year from the free throw line, but you can extend the game. It was a guy that coached at North Carolina State that did this in the Final Four. Gave some fouls and won a national championship.
In Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Jimmy Lee. They got a lane violation. I believe Mourning may have stepped in.
46.8 seconds left. Georgetown by 3, and Duke has the basketball back following the lane violation.
McCaffrey or Laettner. And Hill's been very quiet, don't forget.
Battle inside, and the follow. Davis put it up. Let's see if they give a goaltend.
Now, good, pretty good block, but these officials have been right on top of things. Mike not real happy with some of the... Mike wants... I can't blame him for asking, but they are just above the tin.
Kelly will foul out with that one. I believe the foul was on him, wasn't it?
That's what they pointed to.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be 5 on him.
Duke changed it up a little bit on their pressure the last time. They had a safety valve guy. Remember earlier they matched up everybody on the inbounds passer and let them throw the home run. You may see them change that look again, hoping for Georgetown to throw one awry.
Kelly is still on the floor. They're checking with the official score, but they've got 5. We've got 5.
Dikembe, I think they're just giving him the 30 seconds.
He normally wears a knee brace on both knees, but the one on the right leg he does not have back up. And I don't know if it was hurting him with circulation. That's what caused the cramp or what. Davis 16 points, 6 rebounds. 8 of 9 at the free throw line. Two-point game. Just under 30 seconds to play.
Usually the second pass against the pressure. That's the big one.
Timeout is called. No timeout. I beg your pardon.
They're just subbing, I think.
Yeah. Both teams with 1 timeout. That's it.
And they got McCaffrey as the infielder. Everybody matched up, but not playing the inbounds passer. There's the first. Ooh, they had a perfect trap situation.
Laettner whistled for the foul, and that's all for him.
Couldn't quite get over and step on the sideline. Laettner said I've only got 4.
Well, 14 points and 13 rebounds.
He did not back off at all. He had to play Mourning and, of course, Dikembe as well. Front and back. I mentioned earlier, 3 centers will move on at some point in their careers, and I love Laettner's analysis, too, of his career. Tell those pro guys to leave me alone. I'm going to enjoy my senior year and just play. Don't bother coming around.
Crawford Palmer, 6'9" junior from Arlington, Virginia, will come in the lineup replacing him. What a huge free throw here. And Harrison walks up like he's been doing it all his life. Well, maybe he has, but not in college.
Grant Hill now becomes the sort of 3 or 4 man with Laettner out. He's going to have to do some things, and of course, Hurley's penetration and McCaffrey setting up. So I think it'll be McCaffrey and/or Hill.
Boy, Harrison perfect at the line tonight. It's a 3-point Georgetown lead.
Now Billy's got to set his man up and make a strong cut to get free.
Davis drives into the middle, and the shot is blocked by Mourning.
Well, is that the story of the evening as Bobby Hurley gives it to stop the clock? You come close, be ready. It's coming back. He's got a cramp too, it looks like.
Hurley with 4 fouls.
Well, you can win games a lot of ways, but this Georgetown team does not let you get the easy one. There's a presence, whether it's the Big A, Alonzo, or Dikembe, Mutombo. You do not get a chippy. They are impressive.
Alonzo with 5 blocks in the night. Thompson makes it a 4-point game with 9.5 seconds left. That's his first point.
Tough thing here is a 2-possession situation.
Hurley can't get it to go. Stoudemire's going to go to the line as McCaffrey fouled him, and this one will go in the books. 2.5 seconds left.
This early, this tough, a joy. I mean, I thoroughly sat back and was regaled by the hearts and the high level of competition. Now, John doesn't like it, but I know he enjoyed this effort. He doesn't like playing in this particular challenge. But to have an effort like this has got to make him feel awfully good. Of course, Mike, go back, retool. They're going to be awfully good as well.
So Georgetown wins it 70.
Will be tough to cope with when it comes tournament time.
Georgetown 79 and Duke 74. So it is the Big East taking both games here in Landover tonight.